Second. Said, yep. You already know what it is. Southpaw Talk with Southpaw Slick. And today's video is going to be based on a question I got from one of my male Instagram followers. And he asked me if I believe in the concept of gender roles. The reason why this question even came about is because he watched my video from yesterday and the day before. You know, the interviews with Steve Harvey and Ebony K. Williams. And he decided to watch the whole interview for both of them. And that's why he asked me that question, because, you know, with Steve Harvey talking about, you know, the table thing, and Ebony K. Williams talking about finding a suitable mate, you know, that's on her level. So, yeah, I get why the concept of gender roles will pop into mind, because it did for me as well. But back to the question. Do I believe in the concept of gender roles? Now, I'm kind of conflicted when it comes to that, because half of me wants to say yes, and half of me wants to say no. The yes side of me wants to say yes because of my upbringing. I was raised that a man and a woman are expected to do certain things. You know, i.e., a man protect, provide, cut the grass, take out the trash, etc. Women cook, clean, take care of the kids, basically a traditional setup. But half of me wants to say no because of actuality. And that's based on personal experience and on the outside looking in with other people's relationships. Now, we're going to rewind a little bit with the Steve Harvey interview and the Ebony K. Williams interviews. But before I even get there, just the gender roles in particular, it's not the way it used to be. It's like, as society progressed, if you count, equality, if you throw equality in the mix, that's where gender roles get kind of skewed. Now, me, I'm not against equality or egalitarianism, right? Better yet, equal rights. When you say equality, that's when gender roles become neutral. And you see that word being thrown out a lot. But I notice more so with women, which now it crossed my mind that podcast, Dailyrapupcrew. I watched their newer episode a few days ago with Chinese Kitty and her friends, right? And they were talking about, 50-50 and provision or whatnot. And Chinese Kitty says that, oh, no, like the 50, no. That a man is supposed to provide. It's even in the Bible. And of course, her friends co-signed that. But as you can see, what a woman is supposed to do based on what's in the Bible, she didn't say nothing about that. Oh, a man is supposed to provide. That's in the Bible. Women get off scot-free. And that's when Eli from the Dailyrapupcrew said that it's crazy how a man is expected to play his role and provide and protect no matter what. But when it comes to, cleaning and cooking, which they said that can be either or, that's gender neutral. Right? I'm saying, it's like, that's crazy, because that's exactly what it's become. It's like a man is supposed to be a man no matter what. A woman, she can dibble and dabble with what she's expected to do. And you see that often in this day and age. So that's why I'm saying that gender roles is kind of hard to believe. For men, yes. For women, no. But I can't even say for men, yes, 100%, which we're going to get there. Steve Harvey, when I said I was going to rewind, Steve Harvey was talking about the table thing, that a man is supposed to provide for a woman no matter what, protect the woman no matter what, and a woman, all she has to do is have that man's seed. Nothing else. You can just sit and look pretty and nothing else. But to be fair, Steve Harvey's main demographic as far as who watches him the most are women. So it makes sense that he's going to cape a little bit and simp a little bit so he can keep his fan base. But that's also because he actually lives by that belief. You know, that's him. He actually believes what he said. And I don't necessarily disagree with him. No, well, of course I disagree with him saying that women don't have to bring anything to the table, but I definitely disagree with that. But as far as a man being a man and providing and protecting, of course I agree with that. But it also has to be for a woman that's deserving of it. That's the thing. A lot of women aren't deserving of that. And you hear that a lot too. I've seen that with women saying, I'm not going to submit to a boyfriend. I'm not going to submit to a boyfriend, but you expect that boyfriend to pay bills like a husband. Make it make sense. Another thing that kind of throws the gender role thing off is the fact that both men and women work. Now, if you're in a relationship like this, where the man works a 9 to 5, a woman works a 9 to 5, like expecting her to clean and cook after work, after a long day at work, I don't know. That's, that is kind of left. I'm actually going to be on the woman's side on this one. I'm saying you can't expect her to cook and clean after having a long, hard day at work. You know what I mean? I mean, it doesn't hurt to do it from time to time. See, that's what I'm talking about when they brought up on Dailyrapupcrew, when they brought up that cooking and cleaning is gender neutral. Taking care of the kids is gender neutral. In this kind of setup, absolutely, 100%. If both the man works and the woman works, those duties, the household chores and taking care of the kids, that's definitely gender neutral. Because both parties are contributing financially, I'm assuming. I said more than likely, if you have a family unit, I'll say with a man and a woman and the kids, in this day and age, most people live on a two income household. And I'm assuming the man is paying the majority, right? So he can have most of the say or be seen as the leader, the authority figure in the household. So he'll pay the major bills, the rent / mortgage. I said the insurance and, all the big stuff. And the women, they'll pay like the light bill or the internet or something like that. So you can say like something like 60-40, 70-30, depending on how much, each person makes. I said it's usually a setup like that. And then as far as like what needs to be done in the house, it's pretty much a shared, responsibility. Now, with certain stuff, it's definitely more so the man than the woman and vice versa. Most of the time, the woman is going to cook and clean, even though men do cook and clean. And the majority of the time, if not all the time, the man is going to take out the trash and cut the grass. Now, taking out the trash, I've seen women do. Cutting the grass, I don't see women cutting the grass. I'm just saying. Just keeping it a bean. Not saying that they don't, but I've never seen it. I've never seen it. So, yeah, I'm saying like certain stuff you just expect from that gender, Now, going back to the interviews, Ebony K. Williams, I ended up watching Pinkbooklessons video on that interview, which is crazy because she uploaded it literally an hour after I uploaded mine. So it was like after the fact. So I got to see more of the interview. And in that interview, Ebony K. Williams, now I didn't, look it up and ascertain the statement that she made, but she brought up a statistic saying that 30% of married women are the breadwinner in their relationship. And I'm like, okay, fine. Like I said before, we're in an era where women have built themselves up to be placed in a position of power. They actually took the initiative and went out there and got it. And I'm not knocking them for that. Do your thing. Okay, let's say she's right. Even if women do make more than the men in their relationship, are they contributing more? See, that's what she left out. Because it can be a setup where the woman makes more than a man, but the man is still paying all the bills. To keep that role thing going. Maybe. That's what I'm saying. I'm not going to say that for certain, but maybe. But this also goes back into the Dailyrapupcrew podcast they had with Chinese Kitty, which I'm going to link both Pinkbooklessons and Dailyrapupcrew's videos in the description. And they brought up once again during the 50-50 providing talk that if a man, for example, makes $225,000 and a woman makes $75,000, of course it makes more sense for the man to pay the majority, if not all, the bills. Okay, they all agreed upon it. As far as the women. Now, Ace from the Dailyrapupcrew, he said, what if it's the other way around? Where the man makes $75K and the woman makes $225K. It was like an awkward silence. That's why I'm saying they can't. They can never answer that, and that's why I say the gender role thing is kind of like flip floppy, because it's only applied when it's convenient to the woman. The same way how they talk about a real man. Oh, well, a real man does this or a real man does that. It's only beneficial to them. Like, oh, a real man pays all the bills. A real man, provides for the family. It's like it's always only beneficial to the woman. But they never want to talk about what the woman is supposed to do. See, that's where the shit gets me fucked up. That always gets me fucked up. Like I said, I'm perfectly fine with having gender roles, traditional gender roles in a modern society, even though it can't be like that 100% because we live in a modern society. I still support that, like I said, based on upbringing. But I don't see it in actuality. I don't. I'm saying most people are doing the 50-50 thing. Even if they're not vocalizing it, they're doing it out of necessity because most people don't make enough money to have only one person paying for everything. You know what I mean? Like, that's just not the way things are now. I said because of inflation and other contributing factors. I'm saying it's just not like it used to be. Back then, you were able to take care of a family on one income because things didn't cost that much back then, and there wasn't as much consumerism back then. So, it was a lot easier for a man to have his woman at home taking care of the kids, cooking and cleaning while he went out there and got the bacon, if you will. That's what I'm saying. It's crazy. It's crazy, but another thing I want to bring up before I leave is I say it just crossed my mind too. It just crossed my mind too. I said with men, when I was saying that men also don't want to play their role 100%. Like with Ebony K. Williams, when she said that it's not a race thing or an age thing, it's an all men thing. Which I'm glad she brought that up, because you see a lot of black women in particular, not trying to single them out, but when they talk about, oh, Brad could never, I'm talking about the divesting or divester black women, not black women as a whole. Brad could never, a white man, he's going to provide 100% no matter what, just because he's white. And they're definitely in for a rude awakening, because if they actually did really look into the manosphere, you'll see that it's a complete opposite. I said white men are on that time too, about going 50-50 and Dutch in a relationship. I'm seeing that more and more. It's like there's no race on it. It's just men in general. They're comfortable with going 50-50. Even before doing the 50-50 thing, they're cool going Dutch during the dating stage or the courting stage. So I'm saying you have that. You have men not, being the man, like a lot of men don't know how to fix anything around the house. A lot of men don't know how to change a tire. That's what I was saying. It's like both men and women are not living up to expectation. That's what I say. It's sad. It really is. So that's why I'm like conflicted with the yes and no. Yes, I believe in in it because of upbringing? No, I don't, because of actuality. That's what has me fucked up. I want to talk about this more, but break's about to be over. So, Southpaw Slick, I'm out.